Hello, friends. Welcome to Pride and Perspectives, where we explore the heart of the LGBTQIA plus community, the challenges that we face, and the resilience that keeps us moving forward. I'm your host, Dina Walters, and today I'm going to talk about something that may sound counterintuitive at first, but is really important. Why this is winter in America, and actually why that's a reason for hope. Now, in order to frame my discussion, I want to borrow a metaphor from the past. In 1984, Ronald Reagan's presidential campaign painted a picture of morning in America. 40 years ago, this slogan was meant to inspire optimism, emphasizing growth, prosperity, and national pride. But today, we find ourselves just the opposite of that vision, marked by political polarization, economic upheaval, and uncertainty. For so many of us in the LGBT plus community, and for all of our allies, it just feels like an Arctic chill has settled deep into our bones. Rights we've fought for, they're now being challenged, and our very existence is up for debate in legislative halls, and this rising tide of hate just feels so overwhelming. But winter isn't a time of terminal cold and darkness. It's a season for rest, reflection, and preparation for renewal. Winter is necessary for growth. Winter in the natural world is not a death sentence. No, it's a necessary pause. Trees shed their leaves, and they focus inward, conserving their energy for that burst of growth that spring brings. The soil, it regenerates. Seeds lie dormant, and life waits patiently beneath the frosty surface. As a community this winter, it's a moment to regroup and replenish all of our strength. Activism, like nature, requires cycles. Our battles have taken an emotional, physical, and spiritual toll on us. And this winter, it offers us a chance to recover and strategize. This is not a time to despair. It's a time to rest, to heal, and prepare for what's next. Winter also encourages us to reflect. We're naturally drawn inward as the days grow shorter and the nights grow colder. So it's a time to look honestly at where we've been and, more importantly, where we're going. Let's reflect on our progress. Now, just 20 years ago, think of this. The concept of mainstream marriage equality didn't even seem possible. Gender identity, this was barely part of the public conversation, and it was often limited to humor, camp, exploitation, and vast stereotyping. Yet today, despite the backlash, we see a generation of young people who are unapologetically queer, trans, or non-binary. We must acknowledge this and remember to thank our younger generations for being this catalyst. Now, overall, our visibility has never been greater or been more of a positive thing. And I want you to listen carefully to what I'm about to say. The backlash that we've been experiencing isn't a sign of failure. It's proof that we've genuinely disrupted the status quo. As Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. once said, the arc of the moral universe is long, but it always bends towards justice. And this winter, it's part of the process. Think of what survives during winter. Evergreens that stand tall against the cold. Animals, they hibernate and emerge stronger in the spring. The LGBTQ plus community has always been like those evergreens, resilient, unyielding, and vibrant even in the harshest of all conditions. Our allies, too, have grown stronger. As frost brings closer people together around this fire, the challenging times have united so many of us. We've seen unprecedented solidarity between marginalized communities, from racial justice movements to reproductive rights advocates. And together, we're building a multidimensional coalition that will truly outlast the winter. Winter, it's not forever. And we know spring will always follow. And what is spring if not a time of blossoming, growth, and renewal? So we're laying the groundwork for that spring right now. Every protest, every phone call to a legislator, every conversation that changes one heart and mind is a seed planted in now frozen ground, but when the thaw comes, and it will, those seeds will sprout. One important thing, Our LGBTQ plus youth are watching us stand firm in this harshest of seasons. And they see our courage. They see our experience. They see our creativity and feel the love for one another, learning to carry this torch forward. This concept is reflected in the educational theory of scaffolding, first introduced by psychologist Lev Vygotsky. Briefly, scaffolding involves older students teaching younger students by letting the younger students observe, and then the older ones explain what they did, until the younger students will confidently master these skills and ultimately the mindsets that go with them. And this is what I see happening in our community right now. So for a second, let's return back to that metaphor I opened with, mourning in America. Reagan's campaign used it to evoke the idea of a fresh start. But this fresh start was ultimately an exclusionary vision that didn't include very many people like us. That administration's handling of the AIDS crisis is undeniable proof of that fact. Winter, on the other hand, it's truly universal. It's something we all experience, and it just doesn't discriminate. And because winter is inevitable, so too is spring. The promises of the season, even the darkest, coldest moments, we know brighter days are ahead. So think about it. Our community has weathered countless winters before. From the AIDS crisis to marriage equality battles, we've faced bleak seasons and emerged even stronger each time. This one is no different. The lessons we learn, the bonds we strengthen, and the hope we cultivate during this winter will carry us into a brighter future. So, here's my challenge to you. What can we do during this winter? Well, here's 3 things. Number 1, find your fire. Connect with your community, whether it's a support group, a protest, or simply spending quality time with your chosen family. Find that warmth that will sustain you. 2, plan for spring. Use this time to strategize. What seeds do you want to plant? You could get involved in local politics. You could start an advocacy group or mentor younger community members. Besides making a difference, by the way, this positive energy can be so life-sustaining. 3rd, hold on to hope. Remember, I keep telling you, winter doesn't last forever. When the days feel darkest, remind yourself of the persistence and resilience that brought us all this far. Winter in America, it may feel daunting, but it's not the end of the story. It's just a chapter, and it's a necessary one that will lead us to renewal and growth. We're making a part of history here, and our perseverance through this season will be the foundation for many brighter days ahead. So to all my LGBTQIA plus family and all of our allies, please take heart. Rest if you need to, reflect on how far we've come, and know spring is coming already. And that's my perspective. Until next time, I'm Dino Walters. Thank you for enjoying Pride and Perspectives. Stay strong, stay hopeful, and let's all keep those fires burning.